Shop? I can see in here. Awesome. 1 second. Let me get the thing going here. Ha! They can hear you, babe.
What?
All right. So now I don't have any answers. So if that's why you came here, this is the wrong video. I'm just trying to make this a common conversation piece because it's a big deal. So now, from what I understand, allegedly, rumor has it, well, for sure the ATF, they went after Q. They did the honey badger, and because that's a stupid expensive firearm, what Q had did is they had made a pistol version to help you avoid the tax stamp. Plus, waiting an unknown amount of time for your tax stamp to come in while you're waiting for your firearm is a lot of friction, and it makes a lot of people not want to get it. So they made a pistol version. This way you could still get your firearm without a tax stamp. Then maybe sometime in the distant future, you could get your silencer, maybe SBR, whatever, So they went after them. They're like, okay, your pistol braces are not pistol braces. Those are SBRs. Here's a cease and desist. Everyone that already bought one, even though they bought it legally, the ATF said it was legal. Everything was 100% legal. They're like, oh, well, now you got to either put a tax stamp on them, take them apart. We don't really care what you do because it's not our problem. It's your problem if you don't want to be a felon. Take care of it. Well, then it appears it has expanded beyond that now. So now what it's looking like, because apparently Q fought back, so then it put a stay, or they were fighting for a stay. I wasn't really following the case too closely because stuff's just happening so fast. Almost regardless what you say, it's going to be wrong. And I didn't want to put a video out about it, but now it's to the point to where they're looking at not just Q's braces, they're looking at all AR pistols, AK pistols, everything like that. Now we're going to be reclassified as an NFA item. So what's going on? What are we going to do? For example, I have a pistol in the shop right now. Does that mean I have to pull it off the shelf? Did I waste my money? Now do I have to register that? I'm luckily an SOT, so I can just make that an NFA item. It's just getting ridiculous. And nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows what's happening. But we know that something is, in fact, going down. So we're just trying to make this whole thing normal in everybody's conversation so they're all aware of it. So hopefully we can try to fight it, because that's a really big deal. Because there's been AR and AK pistols been made for years. I can't imagine the amount that are out there that if they decide, oh, hey, those are NFA items now, how many people that don't just sit on YouTube every day and don't follow politics on a regular basis are going to get caught up in this? Ugh. So anyways, that's the whole point of this live stream. I just wanted to help make it a normal conversation piece. But now at this point, we'll just pretty much go into question and answer. So I'll hop in the comment section, see what you guys are all curious about. Kind of wish I would have put out a little bit more warning that I was going to do a live stream, because, this way you could be prepared for it. But see what we got here. Now I'm starting at the bottom of the comments because I have to go on my phone because I can't see them on the computer because I have a very small computer screen. So if you have a question and you've asked it before, just repost it now. Obama hold the ATF Ruby Ridge, Waco, Texas, blah, blah, blah. They saw nobody was doing the tax stamp for SBRs anymore and knew that this would happen. I don't think you should have to do a tax stamp for an SBR. How is a short barrel rifle even any more dangerous whatsoever than a longer barreled rifle? You have less ballistics, less range, shorter sight radius. It only fits a very, very niche role, which would be inside of a car or a very restricted place. I don't understand why they would consider that more dangerous. ATF cash grab. Yeah, but it's not. If it was a true cash grab, they would just up the cost of a tax stamp to something like a couple $1,000s. The whole point of the tax stamp, Because I mean, does it really take that long to process paperwork? The whole idea is to cause friction, to make it less convenient to get firearms. The less convenient it is, the less likely the next generation is going to be like, oh, hey, I want one of those. I'm going to put in the work. You just make it harder and harder and harder to do until it just phases itself out. ATF means... Yeah, the ATF means the third hole for all. I mean, that's really kind of the point we're sitting at here, because since this AR pistol, which possibly may become an NFA item, which may or may not be legal in your state, because some states are just like, no NFA items, nobody can have them. Well, since it's already a federal crime to own this pistol, why not have one extra hole? Trench coat behind SBRs. Trench coat lines, what? SBR, SBS? That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Nobody's going to put a short barrel rifle underneath a trench gun and carry it around unless you're like Secret Service. Because if you're putting a short barrel rifle underneath your trench gun and carrying it around, you're probably, I mean, we're going to broad stroke it here, so there'll be plenty of examples to the contrary, but you're probably going to commit a crime. So why even conceal it at that point? You might as well go with the longer rifle with better ballistics, longer sight radius. It'll be better at the job than an SBR or a short barrel shotgun would be. Extra holes for all. It's early to conceal a pistol. And that's another thing, too, which was really nice about the AR and AK pistols. In Wisconsin, every state's different, and how fast laws change, it may not even be accurate anymore. But you could have a loaded AK pistol or AR pistol in your car, where you could not have a loaded AR-15 or AK-47. Because it was considered a pistol, it was covered under your CCW. Now, we can have an uncased rifle with a loaded mag right next to it, but once you put the mag in the rifle and you charge it, well, now it's a loaded weapon in your car, and because it's not a pistol, it is not covered under your concealed carry. Now, that all comes down to interpretation of the law, if you can even do that, but the general consensus, at least in my area, cops and DNR, is you can have the rifle, not in a case, in your car, with a loaded magazine next to it. It's not considered loaded until the magazine inserts the rifle. Now, I would actually consider loaded, my definition, magazine in the rifle, round in the chamber, but they consider it once the magazine enters the rifle. Bullpups better not be next. And it's very possible. Bullpups, they've always had a shorter overall length. For example, there's even that one Keltec, which I don't believe actually hits rifle length. It doesn't even matter. The point is, yeah, bullpups could be next on the chopping block because they might make an overall length something. Now, it is something now, but it's kind of sort of flexible when you're talking about bullpups. Criminals don't care about ballistics. Gun control is for suppressing slaves. Is it rejected? How about the difference between a Glock 34 and 30-round fun stick? You mentioned AR and AK pistols. What about pistol caliber guns with pistol braces? What do you think? As far as I can tell, now, again, this information is brand new. Nobody really knows anything. But from what I can tell, is it appears they're going to classify a pistol. It will have to be lighter than something, and it will have to be shorter than something. So it wouldn't really matter if it's a pistol caliber carbine or anything like that. Again, none of that might be accurate. None of it at all. Everything's just so new, we don't have a clue. They make pistol braces They are making pistol brace AR-15s legal, not AR pistols under brace. If Joe wins the election, I hate autocorrect. Who's a girl? Okay. Rick B, you're right. ATF is a big no. Hopefully ABC can save us. ACB. My AR magazine is stored from COVID-19 mass. Carbine, who really cares? That's my Wisconsin accent. ATF should be, if Biden gets elected, we can all put our money away. Are pistol braces officially banned, or is some type? No, pistol braces are not officially banned. Now, it doesn't appear they're going after the brace itself, because it seemed like they were just trying to target Q, which makes the honey badger. But because theirs is the same as like every other pistol, they couldn't attack them, or the field agent who did thought he could attack them, but then it's like, well, what about all these other ones? But it appears they're just going after AR, AK, less than 16 inches. If it's less than 16 inches, regardless what's on the back of it, again, this may not be true, but it looks like they're attacking all of them. Those would all be SBRs. So if you have an AR or an AK barrel less than 16 inches, very possibly in the near future, that's going to be an illegal weapon. Just vote, guys. We all know the right politics loop. They even plan to put handguns on the list, but was Q is political guys with hands. Bends through and turn no matter one. It'll carry. There is still staying. There are pistols. ATF is trying to restrict firearm braces before the election. Hopefully that Biden wins. NFA will make the USA country. Biden won't ban them. He will just tax them. Anyway, so what do you guys think about this whole pistol brace ban thing? Do you think this is something feasible? Do you think it'll get enough traction to win? And do you have any other questions for me? No, we will Axe body spray. What? We might still... Well, we might as well drill the third hole if it's going to be a felony anyway. That's my thoughts. $5 tax stamp on every owner. Yes, but that's the problem, is it's the tax stamp. It's not the cost. It's $200. Who doesn't piss more than $200 at the bar or the titty bar? Like, $200 is not that big of an amount. Yes, it's $200. It's an amount. But I see more people blow than that on lottery tickets or at the strip club or at the bar. It's not that much. It's the paperwork and the wait time. It's the friction created. If you could get NFA tax stamps approved in like 5 business days, that would be a whole nother argument. Then it'd be like, okay, so what? It's an NFA item. Now we pay $200, and in 5 business days, I can put on whatever the hell stock I want, or I can do whatever I want with it. It's the stupid wait time and that ridiculous paperwork. How is that paperwork making sure I'm safer than just your normal 4473? Oh, where are we here? Sounds like a cash grab. It's only a cash grab. It's only the beginning. Banned AR-14s, vote Biden. Some companies need to invest. Holy crap, the comments are going fast. I appreciate you guys all tuning in. Like, the support you guys give to this channel is just amazing. If it wouldn't be for you guys, I wouldn't exist. I mean, you're practically like my boss. The tax stamp means registration. Yes, the tax stamp means registration, but does it really matter? I mean, it's pretty obvious who owns firearms. Okay, they order from various online manufacturers. They've gotten hunting license. They have a I'm pro freedom bumper sticker on their car. You can usually tell who's got a gun, registry or not. If they ever did do confiscation, it would be a door-to-door thing anyway. To win, they're just going to outlaw them. Jesus, your bosses, why not exist a house? What about 80%? What about 80% and homemade from blocks? From what I understand, they're attacking 80%ers too. Again, that's really hard to follow. Now, what was it, like 2013, they took a huge swing. It basically made it so you had to own everything in order to legally manufacture the 80%er, and nobody could help you with it. Which is massive, because, like, we won't even get into the legalities behind that because it's one of those endless feedback loops. There's almost no legal way to manufacture an 80%. Yeah, you can in loose definitions of the law, but like when you actually look at what it would mean and how vague it is, it's almost completely illegal to manufacture an 80%. Holy crap, I got a super chat. Let's see what it says. It should be legal. The NFA, suppressors, shorties all include tax stamps. We should have military civilians with the same as a military. Home military is what military to be used for. Militias is to be used for. I totally agree. I feel if the military is allowed to have it, we should be allowed to have it. And I truly mean that. You'll get those people that'll be like, so what, you think civilians should have nuclear weapons? Well, I don't think the military should have I don't think the military should have nuclear weapons. So therefore, that's an invalid argument. If some 18-year-old kid straight out of high school is competent enough to handle whatever the military has, why can't I? I'm much older. I'm much more experienced. It makes no sense. Holy crap, another super chat. The boog is nearly at hard, brother. Lock and load. I hope you're wrong. I don't want to see civil unrest. I don't think any of you do. But yeah, it's getting to the point like, how far, where exactly is my line in the sand? What exact hill am I willing to die on? Because it just keeps putting back and back and back. What was it? Maybe trying to think of a good example. I've drawn my line in the sand several times and it's already been crossed. So where exactly is it? Where is the point where enough is enough? Where is the point when shall not be infringed is enforced? I don't know. I don't want civil unrest. I don't think anybody does, but it does look like there are people that are moving chess pieces around the board, intentionally trying to create civil unrest. Shall not be infringed, plain English. Right on. If you're willing to go to war, then you should have the same weapons as the military. Do not comply. To me, AWB, yep, this is stupid. This is stupid. Is logically sound? Tax, they kill the plans to kill us. Joe Biden, no one problem will be friendly fire. Could it be a civil war? Oh, here's one directly to me. CRS Firearms, when they came after your kids, is when they came after your kids is where I think most people's line saying, oh, I agree too. When it shows up at your doorstep, yeah, most people's lines in the sands have definitely been crossed. But at that point, you can't win. You can't repel borders like that. It's just not possible. There's no guaranteed way, especially when they have more resources, more time. If they were to put you under siege, you can't win. So you can't let it get to the point where they're at your door. If they're already at your door, you've already lost. You have to stop it before then. It's just not possible to fight a battle and expect any possibility of victory when it's at your door. Your door is where you retreat back to. That's where you go out. And then, well, just look at how military sets up their fire bases and stuff. They don't fight on the line. When Charlie's inside the wire, it's already game over. No, they got roving patrols. They try to fight the battles over there. And then this is where they come back. This is their sanctuary. This is the resupply. This is where they sleep. Then they go out there and fight because you can't fight in that area. Once you're locked down to a fixed position, regardless how fortified it is, it will eventually be taken over. It only takes a couple of people that are motivated enough to take down any fixed position. You can't hold a fixed position indefinitely. So once it gets to where it's at your door, yes, most people's line in the sand will be crossed, but you don't want it to get to that point. When it's at your door, it's already game over. Say what? Shoot and scoot. Oh, most definitely. CRS Firearms, can you take an existing gun and have it? CRS Firearms, can you take an existing gun and have it? I'm assuming this has to do with like the whole ban that we're talking about. Where I'm an SOT, yes, I can manufacture machine guns. I could take a bump stock, put a serial number on it, and it's legal for me to have. Now, that is legal not necessarily for me to have. It's legal for the SOT to have, which is under the LLC. So it would have to remain property of the store, but I could use it for like demonstrations and stuff like that. I just couldn't take it home with me and keep it. Now, if I took it home to shoot a video as a demonstration, or I took somebody out to demonstrate or some sort of media purpose, then yes, that would be legal. Now, I could not sell that to the general public because you guys can't have it. So, like, if they did this pistol brace thing, I could store everybody's AR pistols at the store and make them NFA items until their paperwork goes through. That would be totally legal. But I couldn't sell it back until their paperwork came back. Now, if they did like a bump stock, no, then I would have to keep it at the store until the store was closed or something like that, and then it would have to be destroyed because it can't be distributed through the population. I don't know if that makes any sense. What do you mean we are all felons now? I'm at the bottom of the comments. I don't pause it. So if you guys ever have something to ask and you see me pick up my phone, that's when you hit send. Come on. Why won't... There we go. Here we go. Back at it. All right. CRS Firearms sent you a message earlier. Oops. I didn't see the message. Makes sense. Send. Texas America, how old are you? 35. AJ, all ATF Obama's left over. YouTube has charged in form a few hours. Now it's available on a video. Cough Elite, why I have weird Tabasco. He looks like he is playing something. There's no Godfather. If we all ask the news in Texas to turn over blue. Who has better guns? Who has better gun laws, Minnesota or Wisconsin? Wisconsin does. Minnesota, they... No, I haven't lived in Minnesota in a while, but I believe Minnesota doesn't allow NFA items there. Now, they were talking about switching it. I don't know if it ever caught traction or not, But when I left Minnesota, you couldn't get things like silencers, SBRs, stuff like that. CRS Firearms, you're 10 years older than me. You can now. Wisconsin has banned gun laws just like Kyle. I'm in Minnesota. Our AR-15s going up in value since the brace ban. No, I haven't seen a major increase in value in AR-15s. Now, at the beginning of the year, there was a jump. Most definitely. It happened really quick. So we went from the Trump sale, which they were cheap, and then, man, it was just past tax time, and everything took a jump. There's been a slow climb since then, but for the most part, the AR-15 prices just leveled out, which is high, but they're not like slowly climbing up like the Obama panic, where your $500 AR-15 is now worth $3,000. It's not like that. They're putting them out enough to meet the panic demand. I mean, they're still not meeting the demand. We can't get them, but they are meeting the panic buyers, which is keeping places from like Gunbroker just. And now your Smith & Wesson M&P 15 is worth like $3,000. That hasn't happened, but they have went up in price. Serious. Take all your pistols, ARs, and then pin. And that is an option. If you were to just pin and weld on a break of whatever length, you could turn a pistol into a rifle. I would show you, but last time I put a firearm on camera, my video got taken down. But for example, the MLP project I'm working on, that's got a 14.5-inch barrel, but I got just long enough of a muzzle device on there, pin and welded, so it makes it a rifle. Now, it is a pain, especially if you went with like a honey badger, because the whole point of the 300 Blackout is like a 10-inch barrel, an 8-inch barrel somewhere in there, because that's where that cartridge excels really well. You put on a longer barrel and you're not getting any benefit from it because you want to keep it subsonic. So now, like if you had a 10-inch barrel, the only option at that point is to get a 6-inch silencer and pin and weld it on. But if you're in a state where they don't allow silencers, well, now you're between a rock and a hard place. Or I should say between the ATF and a hard place. Or, well, you get the idea. The point is, yes, most definitely you could pin and weld on muzzle devices and make them legal. And if you're in a state where, for example, we have a pistol AR in there. If it comes down the pipe that I can't sell that to the general public without making an NFA item, what I'm going to do is get the accordion length silencer, pin and weld it onto there, and then it's going to be sold as a rifle. But yes, they'll have to do the tax stamp for the silencer. But it makes it a one-stamp rifle, which is pretty cool. Ooh, we got a super chat. Let's see what he's got to say. Keep up the great content. Much love. Well, thank you. And I do appreciate the super chats. I really do. Oh, where are we here? CRS Firearms, do you think there's any light at the end of the tunnel for the 2A right now? Actually, yes. One of the very, very strange side effects to the coronavirus panic is everybody on the left side of the spectrum, for whatever reason it became political, completely removed their kids from school, which means they're being homeschooled or they're going to private school. So why does that matter? One of the biggest skills, the greatest skill you get out of public school is social skills. How to interact with people, how to pick up on bullshit. It's cheap lessons in life. You learn in public school that not everybody is there to benefit you. There are people that are going to try to take advantage of you. And because you're younger, those lessons come really cheap, but they stick with you because they're younger. Yeah, you'll lose your bike or a pack of gum or somebody will steal out of your locker or something like that. The point is it gives you a dose of reality at a cheap lesson. So why does that matter? Because the coronavirus became political and everybody on the left side of the spectrum, and I mean everybody, has pulled their children from public school, they will be socially awkward and they will feel like they don't fit in to the rest of society. So 15 years from now, if this continues to go down this road, only the right side of the spectrum will be in public school, which means the ideals taught in public school will all be right aimed. For example, in my grade school, well, the grade school in my town, it's 4K through 6. They had to replace like 4 teachers because they believe strongly school should not be open. A cold is a good reason not to have schools in progress. So all those left teachers are gone. So they're strictly teaching a right narrative. All the kids that are there have parents with right narratives. So they're going to enter society. Everybody that wasn't in public school is going to be socially awkward and be trying to fit in. So they will mend their beliefs to what everybody else believes to fit in. So leftist ideology, if this coronavirus thing continues on, in about 15 years will fall flat on its face and be dead. We'll have a totally different spectrum, what people believe, what they should do, which is one of the real positive things to the coronavirus. All right. We can be like the left and just mute chat jokes, blah, blah, blah. Even the ATF has a problem. Will the ATF make pistol braces for Mossberg shockwaves illegal? Most likely. What do you think will happen to firearms if Biden gets elected? It'll be all doom and gloom. I mean, that's literally his campaign slogan. Damn CRS Firearms, I love the way you explain that. Hell yeah. What if the ATF is trying to hammer you? Who calls? Think Trump will be ban suppressors? Think Trump will ban suppressors? I don't think so because there's enough people that own them that would put up a fight. But again, pistol ARs, like almost everybody's got at least one in the trunk of their car. So we'll see what happens. Where are we? What's up, Nazi? Blah, blah, blah. Hi, Matt. Love your videos from Arizona. What's up, Arizona? Here from Guns and Gadgets. Yeah, that's actually why I put out my video, because Guns and Gadgets made a video, and I'm like, yes, we need to make this generally known. And there's probably a couple of people on my channel that haven't heard about this yet, so it's very important I do a live stream, even if it's just to talk about it in general. Holy crap, a super chat. See what we got here. Suppressors are legal in Minnesota. Do you see reclassification acting important on any pistols? Say like the SG 550 with a 20-inch barrel. I enjoy the work you do. Suppressors are legal. Okay, so suppressors are legal in Minnesota. Now, like I said, it was like 2015 or something like that. I heard they were trying to change it. Now, maybe I misheard. Maybe they were always legal, but from what I understood, NFA items were not legal in Minnesota till like right before I left. So either I misheard them, or, which is very possible, this happens a lot, or they recently became legal. Do you see the reclassifications as in any important pistols, say like the the SG 550 with a 20-inch barrel? I do enjoy the work you do. Affecting any imported pistols, say like... Now, see, that's what Guns and Gadgets was talking about, too. He was saying that because there will be a reclassification, that any of the imported pistols will no longer be valid, or they won't be doing it unless it's a legitimate magazine in the pistol grip pistol. So we'll have to see what happens. Again, nobody really knows a whole lot of anything about this because it's just happening so fast and it's so new. We had heard mutterings behind the scenes a couple of months ago, but I was like, okay, nobody really knew what the hell that was. And then all of a sudden, well, bam, Q, you're done with. Okay, the rest of you, get ready because you're also done with next. Oh, we shall see how this goes. We'll get short barrel uppers because of a problem. Will getting a short barrel upper become a problem? No, the upper itself wouldn't be a problem because you could be SBRing it. Attaching a short barrel upper to a lower would become a problem. CRS Firearms, I will need to get a license to make the muzzle brakes I'm talking about. Will I need to get a license to make the muzzle brakes I'm talking about? You shouldn't have to get a license for an accessory right now. Like, an accessory is not a gun. Again, a bump stock is not a gun, but that got labeled as a machine gun. So who knows which way it'll go. But as far as I know, right now, you do not need a license to make muzzle brakes. As a matter of fact, I could order muzzle brakes off of eBay from China, which is nice because they're like $20. And so they're being imported into the country. So, yeah, as far as I know, now don't quote me on this, but as far as I know, right now, the way things stand, you do not need a license to make muzzle brakes. Oh, will the AOC, ABC, what? Have you ever seen this letter physically drop yet? No, I have not seen the letter yet. It's all hearsay. Enough big people have reported about it to where I believe it's true. If it comes out that it's not true, I will do a follow-up video immediately and let all you guys know. But from what I understand, there are credible sources that have said this is true. But you know how that goes. That's why it's critical to take all this right now with a grain of salt, but we all need to pay attention. Because if it is true, that has some strong implications. CRS Firearms. Okay, when I get some made, I'll send you one to test. Yeah, not a problem. Remember, light and small. Make it the diameter of whatever barrel you're contouring it to, so that'd be like 0.75, and keep it light. Yeah, aluminum will wear out a little bit quicker. Like even on the Black 13, I'm starting to get a little bit of wear on the brake I have on there, which I don't even think is aluminum. I'll have to double check that with a magnet. But it doesn't matter. Keep it light. Stainless steel is also a very good option. From what I understand, there's troubles coloring stainless steel. I've never tried myself. So normal steel like 4140 or 4150 would probably be pretty good to make them out of as well. Just make sure you have a good finish on them so they don't rust out. Oh, where are we? CRS Firearms. What's a good place to buy an AK parts? I'm thinking about building my own 3D printer. I don't actually know. AIM Surplus, they're always pretty good about imported stuff. AK Files. If you're building a Pierce rifle, that's probably where I would start. 10.5 is the best. It's going to be good thing here in South Carolina. What did everyone carry today? I have a Ruger Security 9 compact. Ooh, we got a super chat. Come on, stop it. There we go. All right. What is confusing is for it to be an AR pistol, it had to start its life as a pistol. So therefore, it started its life as a pistol. So how can it be reclassified as an SBR if it started its life as a rifle? That's a good point. Because it doesn't really take any logic whatsoever. Because you are right. It started its life as a pistol. It's never been a rifle. So how could it magically become a short barrel rifle? Because it can't. But they're not using any logic. Like, a lot of their stuff just doesn't make sense. Once upon a time, they had kind of clear-cut laws that we could all follow. Like, okay, it's got to have 16 inches. It's got to have an overall length of, 23 inches. Easy to follow. It's pretty simple. Does it or does it not have a 16-inch barrel? Okay, it doesn't have a 16-inch barrel, so now it's a pistol. Well, it started its life as a rifle. Okay, so then it's a short barrel rifle. Simple. But now, yeah, if they take these AR and AK pistols that have never been a rifle and they convert them all to rifles, and then convert them back to short barrel rifles just by the swipe of a pen. Kind of throws all the logic to the wind, and they're just doing whatever the hell they want. Damn those boat accidents. Damn, they always have boat accidents. You got to be really careful on a boat, man, especially if you're shooting at fish. Boats capsize very easy. Be very careful. Make sure to always have a life jacket on. I know plenty of people that have been out there fish hunting and have capsized their boat and lost all their firearms. Jack, are they trying to reclassify the AR pistols as SBRs and AOWs? Yeah, that's exactly what appears is happening. They're trying to take everything shorter than a 16-inch barrel, and now that is an AOW or an SBR. We all lost our guns in a boating accident. Oh, that's sad, man. That's thousands of dollars just gone forever. And the worst part is usually when you have a boating accident, there's alcohol involved, so it's so hard to remember what lake you were even on. I need a new gun. Gonna grab fishing poles and go boating and see what I can come up with. Fish hunting. CRS Firearms, where can I find some primers? I don't know if you live in Wisconsin, but just stalk Fleet Farm like it's an ex-girlfriend. They'll throw out just a couple a day, and you just got to grab them while you can. I mean, yeah, it's only 100 pack. And if you live far away, that can be real inconvenient. Otherwise, just grab what you can. Let's see here. Your eyes have to read faster. Matt, LOL. Yeah, I read stupid slow, especially when I know somebody's watching me, because then I panic. So, I apologize. Minecraft fishing. I'm in Texas. I'm just going here. What's happened? Basically, the ATF is trying to reclassify anything shorter than a 16-inch barrel in a rifle as an SBR. There's no more. They're trying to make it so there's no more AK or AR-15 pistols. How much of this is true? I don't know. How much credibility is behind it? I don't know. This is just recently happening. I'm just doing this live stream to get people talking about it. So if this becomes a serious problem or it's starting to look very credible, enough people know about it so we can all act on it. Read slower, LOL. There are many guns in the ocean. You read like IP. Yeah, I read like old people bang, slow and sloppy. I carry a Springfield XCS Mod 245. Do you have a Shockwave with a brace yet? No, unfortunately I don't. Where are we here? I already wrote all 3 state reps. Yeah, definitely write your state representative. That's a really good way to do it. Now, back in the early days of YouTube, all of the creators, they would give you little cut and paste things you could do on your letter. But apparently, well, I mean, it's a pretty obvious move, but they have software to where it just looks for letters that are written similar, and it classifies them all together and counts it as one letter. So you want to write something yourself. Ideally handwritten, but emails work too. Phone calls, also a great way. Just call them up and be like, dude, what's going on here? CRS Firearms know anyone leading to reloading? No, anyone needs lead for reloading. And where is the breaking news SPR? Super chat, $2. What's your thoughts? What you think for lever guns in 7.62x39 soft tip? It works. I mean, if I'm going to go with a lever gun, though, I'm probably going to go with a pistol caliber, something shorter so I can have a higher capacity. Yeah, 30-30 lever guns are cool. so with a 7.62 by 39. But where a 7.62 by 39 doesn't have a rimmed case, it works really well on a magazine. The lever gun typically shoots rimmed cases because they don't work well on a magazine. So you got to put them in a tube. And you have them all lined up. Like with a rimmed case, to the best of my knowledge, you got to go single stack. Or you got to go in some sort of tube. So a cartridge like a 7.62 by 39, it just doesn't make sense to put it in a lever gun. Now, if you go with, like, say, a 357, 45 long cold, 44 mag, 454 Kasu, those are all rimmed cases. They work inside of a lever gun really well because what else are you going to shoot them out of that has high capacity? Because they're shorter, you can fit a bunch of them in a line. A 30-30, yeah, I think that's similar ballistics to a 7.62 by 39. I haven't looked at it lately. But again, it's a rimmed case, so the only logical place for that would be a lever gun. LOL, send the newspaper cutout letter signed with your full name. Ruger Next Gun, 545 by 39 lever gun. Love the channel. Grab another live. Suck one a charge. Blah, blah. This is why I bought a pre-banned AR-15. It's legal without having to worry about changing their minds. And that's the thing. If you bought an AR-15 pistol before whatever date they decide to do this, those should be grandfathered in. Yes, you'd have to register the serial numbers, just like everything in, pre-86 that was a machine gun. But there should be no reason why. The right way to do this, the right way to do this is just leave us the hell alone. But the right way to do this, like how they should be doing this if they're going to do something like that, would be, okay, as of January 1st next year, that's your amnesty date, you got to send us a copy of your serial number, or tell us what your serial number is. It'll be an SBR. It's not going to cost you anything. We'll send you the tax stamp. When you get that tax stamp, now you can put on a real stock. We're going to expedite those tax stamps. They're only going to take about 4 or 5 business days to do. That's your amnesty period. Now, after this particular date, now you can no longer do that. Those will all be SBRs. But everything before this date, you guys get amnesty because you were doing things legal at that time. But that's not how they're doing it. They're like, you need to change those rifles. Basically, it's starting to sound like if you have a rifled barrel below 16 inches, you need to go in your shop and cut it into 3 pieces and throw it the hell away. Or get a tax stamp. Thank you for the super chat, J40. Not really sure how you would say that. CRS Firearms. So bottom line is, it's a bad idea to go with a shockwave right now. Yeah, I would say so myself. Thank you for the second super chat, J Ford E. The ATF seems to think that America doesn't have enough felons, so they are doing political dirty to make more. Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like. They're trying to make normal people felons. I think I was getting amnesty, GCA. Another super chat. What if the ATF gave the letter to Q to start a fight before the ATF threw on everyone? Leaving the community prepared. What if the ATF gave the letter to Q to start a fight before the ATF threw it on everyone? I don't actually know, because that was kind of a bad move giving the letter to Q, especially if you think, put myself in their shoes for a second. So if I was going to do this, I was like, okay, I don't approve with Q. I think that they're pushing the line too far on what an AR pistol is, and I need to shut them down. I would automatically be like, well, what about the rest of the AR pistols? Well, that ain't going to work because then they'll just argue that. So eventually we're going to get to the point already of all AR pistols would have to be included with this. So I would either not attack Q or I would automatically go after all AR pistols because why not? It's going to go in that direction anyway. So I don't really understand why they'd go after Q immediately. You think they would have been more prepared? Thank you for the super chat. It depends. This could go either way with Army on Supreme. With Amy on Supreme. She could research this or anything Biden could do if she's true pro-AR. Major Red. And you're exactly right. It really could go either way. Is this new Supreme Court person really going to make a difference? Is keeping Trump in office really going to make a difference? I don't know. If Biden wins, what's going to happen then? But they sent Biden as their candidate. What does that mean? Why exactly would they pick him? He's not going to win. He's not president quality. Now, shit happens. He could win. But I just don't think it was a serious effort to try to take the left to the presidency. It just doesn't feel right. It's almost like they're giving up the presidency or they're just throwing a candidate away because they know they can't beat Trump. Because that's the best they could bring to the table. And the political fallout, like, I refuse to believe that they did not intentionally. It's the words I'm looking for here. It feels intentional that they would send such a poor candidate. It feels like they're throwing away that opportunity to try to take the office. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but it feels like they're tossing the election. So what would that mean? Why would they want to do that? Do you think that they're intentionally trying to create chaos by having Trump as the presidency to keep the riots going and keep all the craziness just rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling? What's your thoughts on all that? Another super chat. I think the Q thing is the ATF pushing to see how far they can go because they think Biden is going to get elected. I don't think anybody could honestly truly believe that Biden's going to get elected, though. He just is not a solid candidate. I mean, Hillary was more of a solid candidate than Biden. So they would have to be relying on enough people to hate Trump and to get them to the voting office to win, which is just a piss poor strategy altogether. Biden is the fall guy. Another super chat. Biden is for Kamala. She hates him. Biden is the Trojan for Kamala. She hates him. Yeah, I don't know. I just back to the comments before I go on a rant. Younger generation Soulboy streams mail-in ballots is going to way to manipulate the election. Yeah, but even if they do mail-in ballots, I can't believe that there would be a conspiracy that large to totally change an election. Yeah, a couple of counties. Yeah, hell, even the electoral votes, because what was it? Right after Trump won, there was a whole bunch of states that were moving that were like, if a president wins the popular vote, they're going to get our electoral vote regardless what actually won the electoral vote, which that could be a real problem because then they could be like, okay, that's our candidate. Well, they won the popular vote, so they automatically win. Oh, no, they didn't win the popular vote, but they win the electoral votes, so they automatically win. Oh, it's just a mess because, yeah, like right after Trump won, they were trying to dismantle the electoral college, which that would be a problem. Now, in my area, I'm seeing about 4 to 5 Trump signs per one Biden sign. So at least in my area, Trump's got it. So that would be the northern half of from central Wisconsin to the northern half of Wisconsin. Now, what happens down in Milwaukee and Madison, that's a different story. But they've also had the riots and stuff, which has changed a whole bunch of people's minds on the way they think about things. Again, we'll have to see how all this unfolds. Give me money. Pence is not checking. Another super chat. Struggling with limited text. Kamala wanted Biden's purse. She talks about when she's president, she'll deal with him unfit. She'll deal with him unfit to take office and rule. And that's exactly it. Even their own candidates are like, Biden is not fit to be president. Now, I get it. There are Biden supporters out there. I don't know how anybody could be a Biden supporter on my channel, because this campaign is literally like, oh, I beat the NRA. I'm going to deal with gun problems, like stuff like that. And this is, relatively speaking, a Second Amendment channel. Maybe I'm just naive, but I just don't believe anybody in the Second Amendment community would vote for Biden, except for my uncle, which he's a cancer survivor, so I believe that probably has a lot to do with it. But he's Second Amendment, and he's Biden. I've had some pretty heated Facebook conversations. Anywho, I just don't see that the illogical choice would be Biden for anybody in the Second Amendment community. And there, after the riots and stuff, there are a whole new wash of people in the Second Amendment community I've never seen before. Now, remember, they're infants in the Second Amendment community, so they don't have the same beliefs as us. They might not even pray to the same God as us. But they're slowly starting to make steps to understand the point of the Second Amendment. Okay, it's not about hunting. It's about protecting my family, taking down a tyrannical government. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. All right. Abolish the feds. Trump's all the way, Second Amendment. CRS Firearms, where do you think this ATF action will lead? AR pistols, buffer tubes, without sixth position? I honestly think that this will probably go through. I honestly think the days of the AR and AK pistols will be over. I'm just being real with you. I don't think this is a fight we're going to win. They've been after, I shouldn't say they've been after, they've disliked those things, all levels of law enforcement for years. I just don't think that's a fight we're going to win. So if you own the pistols, well, you're already going to be a felon with it if you can't have NFA items in your state. So I'm not telling you what to do, but a felony is a felony. So, you know, you make your own choices. 6 billion braces out there. CRS Firearms. What's your line in the concrete? What's your line in the concrete? I don't know. This is all to make bullpups a thing again. Yeah, bullpups would definitely become a thing again. Well, say hello. Unregistered SBRs. CRS Firearms. You should check the Gunner YouTube channel. It is something that be right up your alley. MC Gunsmith. Gunny MC Gunsmith. I'll check into that. I'm laid here. What about firearm braces? Overall length greater than 26 inches. Yeah, so it's looking like, for the people that just showed up, possibly, there's no facts on this yet. It's all new. It's still hearsay, but it's looking like if it cannot be classified as a rifle, it will be an NFA item. Aside from like just straight up magazine in the pistol grip, 4-inch barrel, little tiny pistol, like legitimate pistol, it will be an NFA item. Why can't you read? Good point there. My question is, instead of your line in the sand, which is soft, where is your line in the concrete, which is permanent? I don't know. Things change on a day-to-day basis. For sure, line in the concrete, I think for everybody, would something that directly affects them and their family. Like I was saying earlier, at that point, it's too late. So exactly where is the line? I don't know. Binary triggers are fun. Speaking of which, I actually got a Echo trigger by, I forget the name of that company. Not Faxton, Foztech. Coming for the MLP project. Now, the only reason I ordered that one is because the shop has an SOT. So, should they get banned, I'll carve a serial number in it, and then it'll be permanently for the shop. As a general civilian consumer, I don't know if I'd go down that road. Because, yeah, the way things are going and the crazy regulations, will those become a legal machine gun or illegal machine gun shortly? I don't know. All right, where are we? This is just for money. The ATF is a bunch. Pods. I guess that's Firearms. Got a tax stamp or e-money. 1934, the NFA sucks. Bunch of politics. Now, see, if the NFA and the ATF were run legally, it wouldn't be that bad of a problem. So, for example, this whole brace thing. They should make a bill, and it should go through all the processes, all the hearings, all the way up to the president, and then if it doesn't get shot down before then, and it gets signed off then it becomes law. But this bureaucracy, sorry, I'm trying not to curse on live streams, but these bureaucrats, because the ATF is just supposed to enforce the rules on the books, but then they'll be like, well, our interpretation of this law has changed slightly, so it drastically changes everything. And they're basically skipping the whole legal process of making a law and just writing it into existence. They can literally go on a live stream and be like, as of today, I consider all pinned and welded muzzle devices, giving you an overall length of 16 inches, is no longer how we're going to do it. We're going to measure from the firing pin to the end of the actual rifling. That's all they have to do. They just jump on YouTube live stream and declare something illegal. And that's not the way it's supposed to work. It's supposed to be written up as a bill, and then it's supposed to go through all the processes all the way up. And then, if everybody agrees with it, then and only then does it become a law. I'm a bureaucrat. Can you own cannons? How does a bill become a law? Yeah, that's a process I'm not getting into. There's plenty of other channels that go how a bill becomes a law and stuff like that. I'm not that big on the legal system. I am not the person to talk to about that. But I know it is a long process where several people have the opportunity to shut it down. And we're not afforded any of those luxuries. It's just, oh, no, that's the way things are from now on. A lot of boating actions. What up, pimpin'? Not much. So why does the ATF force on the brace? What makes the brace special to the feds? I don't actually know. Did somebody from Q kick the wrong bee's nest or bang some ATF sister? Or how in the hell did these pistol braces become a thing all of a sudden? Does anybody know the backstory on this? I can't imagine somebody was like, beep, 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 shut off the alarm. What am I going to do today? You know what? I'm going to make pistol braces NFA items. Siri, set reminder. Make pistol braces NFA items. I'm just not willing to believe that's how that went down. Why ain't the Ruger Charger 22s? Why ain't they after Ruger Charger 22s? Oh, politics. No, from my understanding, it will be barrels shorter than 16 inches. That'd be your Thompson Centers, your Ruger Chargers, anything that could normally be considered a rifle will get affected as of now. I mean, we just don't know yet, but that's what it's looking like. So if your rifling does not equal 16 inches and it's not a legitimate pistol, it's now an SBR. I miss seeing Candyland in the background. Don't we all? I had to do something different with the store, though. I was like, stepmom, we need to change the background. It's been stagnant for too long. Let's put up some higher moving items. Instead of trying to put up the high profit items, we'll take the stuff that's a lower profit but cooler and moves a little bit quicker. We'll organize the shelves with that so it's constantly changing. We're still debating exactly how to get the shelves set, but because so many of you guys call the store asking to talk to me and stuff, my stepmom's got a pretty good idea of how many people actually get to see it. It's funny, I left that misspelt sign up there forever, and I'm like, oh, hey, just so you know, everybody keeps complaining about that misspelt sign you got up there. Her face turned red almost immediately. It was pretty funny. Kind of like when somebody's got food on their face and you just don't tell them about it. You need to put a gun wall hanger on your live chat. You need to put gun wall hanger on your live chat. I can't put any firearms in the live chat. To the best of my understanding, if a firearm comes in front of the screen right now, that chat's getting stopped and possibly removed, and I might even get a channel strike. ATF this boot. But all right, guys. CRS Firearms, Yankee shooter, one all the time. Can we draw a gun on a chat? I don't actually know. It's hard to say. But all right, guys, let's wrap this up. It's 10 o'clock, and I got to get up a couple hours here and go back to work. Final questions. Serious, consider moving or at least dumping your extra issue channel or some non-comment channel. How is this okay? You dude, Sierra's Firearms. How is this okay? Yeah, but who cares who actually follows the rules? Firearms because you can something shoulder a pistol brace. Is there any political news? I won't write a letter. Who do you vote? Small business owners, low income 2A. Have a good night. So what's up? What's going on? Y'all meet up, make some difference. Next time I'm back to Appleton, I'm going to stop by the store. Hope to see you there. CRS Firearms, have you made any new t-shirts? No, I've actually got to make a new one. I was thinking about doing this one, but I can't find for sure if this label is copyrighted or not, so I just got one for myself because it looks cool. But this was like 2016 when I made this one, before the Teespring thing even existed. So I just made a handful of them I had myself, and then I was selling them on Facebook. But then I found a similar label. So I think it might be copyrighted. I don't know. Either which way, I was like, oh, let's stop there. Thank you for the super chat. Good night, Trump 2020. I know what's because of fight. CZ Vice News, night. But alright, guys, I apologize if I never got to your comments. Again, it's not intentional. They just come so fast, it's really hard to keep up with them. But you all have a good night.